Hey buddy, this is Colin, Mr. Old School Gamer, bringing you another clip from the wonderful world of Warships. So this is Friday afternoon when I record this commentary, and I just gotten home from work. I poured myself my first umbrella drink for the evening, and I sit down to do some commentary work on this Z23 video. So the German destroyer line was actually a destroyer line that I was not really that impressed with first off the bat. I consider myself being a DD main, so of course anything new in the destroyer lines should appeal to me very much. And of course the German destroyer line has been out for ages now, but I pretty much just realized recently that this could actually be a line that appeals to my playstyle. So that is why I only unlock the higher tiers German destroyers at this time. And the thing I came to realize is that being a destroyer main, I of course love the torpedo weapon system and the possibilities that comes with having a great torpedo boat. And that is of course why you often see me playing Shimakaze or Yugumo or Asashio on this channel, because I really love to be able to stack torpedoes and floods on top of each other, flooding out those big bad battleships. But I didn't really realize from the beginning that these German destroyers are actually pretty decent torpedo boats, even though they actually have probably the worst alpha damage output in the game regarding their torps. And when you see me sail around in my tier 9 Japanese torp boat, the Yugumo, I of course heavily rely on the fact that that ship comes with the torpedo reload booster. And in this line, instead, I rely more heavily on the actual torpedo reload, the base reload of these German destroyers, which are actually pretty great. If you play the tier 10 Z52, you can almost launch a new set of torpedoes when your first salvo has reached the battleships and hit them for floods and additional damage. So that is pretty much the reload time of the tier 10 German destroyer. Of course, if you build it for torp reload, which you really should, in my opinion. The guns, of course, being German guns, they also excel very much in the AP department, especially on a bit bigger and chunkier destroyers, like the American or the Russian. It is really effective. On Japanese, I would probably recommend you firing mostly HE, even though AP can be also pretty effective on broadsiding Japanese destroyers. So I earned my first kill with a flood, earning me the first blood of this match. And of course another huge strength of especially the higher tier German destroyers is the ability to slot the German Hydra acoustic on your destroyer. Now this one on the Z23 and also on the following ship Z48 is pretty decent range on your Hydra acoustic. But when you come to the tier 10 one, the Z52, that is the best Hydra acoustic on any destroyer in the game. As far as I know, at least. It even outranges the low Jang, which has a pretty great Hydra acoustic. Which means that Z52 is a really great destroyer to push and contest caps with, because you have great armor piercing shells in your guns. You have smoke, even though your smokes are pretty much the worst of all nations' destroyers. The duration of the smoke is around 1 minute, so it's nothing really you sit and ducka down battleships with. But as you can see here, you can use it for a short period of time to maybe land some additional fires on ships, or to engage and contest enemy destroyers within caps. So you have the smoke, even though it's a shorter one than the Russian and American smokes. And you have pretty good speed on your torps. Pretty decent range at 10.5 kilometers on the Z52. And also, of course, that mega overpowered German Hydra acoustic, which means that you will pretty much never eat a torp sitting in a cap or contesting an enemy destroyer in a cap. And of course, any enemy destroyer dumb enough to try and push you, you can just pop your smoke, pop your Hydra acoustic, and sit and farm him until he is dead. So I'm pretty alone at this flank, as you can see on the minimap. My team has pushed pretty hard on the left flank and been able to push the enemy fleet backwards. Meanwhile, I am pretty alone on this flank, trying to hold off the enemy push. But this position I have here is actually one of the best positions for a German destroyer, because if you are pretty much herding the enemy fleet that are pushing you on one flank, you can just sit at a comfortable range like I am doing here. And if you have a problem with the enemy destroyers trying to push your position, as you just saw, you have the means and the guns to deal with them with your smoke and your Hydra. So the enemy destroyers can't really push you out of the way. And at the same time, you can pretty much just sit here in front of all these pushing battleships and just spam your fast reloading torps over and over and over again. Making them flood, making them turn around, making them panic. So you can probably say that I am alone holding the entire push. I mean, I do have a friendly cruiser sitting in our base cap, and I also have a friendly ship to my west. But you could probably say that I'm the one most responsible for holding off their entire push into our base cap here. Because no one of these battleships want to be the first one pushing. Because he knows that he will be the focus of my guns and the focus of my torps. And when torps can pretty reliable pop up at a minute in between each salvo, well, I think you guys know if you're a battleship player and you have a destroyer that can pretty much spam torpedoes towards you indefinite, well, you won't really see those guys pushing that aggressive. So as you can see, these guys, they really have to tread carefully, because I'm of course down below half health, but as you can see, my reload on my torps are really short at this time. Of course, my build in this captain includes the same as in all my destroyer, cruiser and battleship captain, and that is the adrenaline rush perk that buffs your reload on your guns and your torpedoes for every last little bit of health that your ships are losing. So as you can see, I have an active flood on one of the ships. If you see my damage meter ticking up in the top right corner. And I'm just continuing to spam these torps. So these guys can't really dodge my torps, because they come at such great rate at all times. So I landed 2 more torps on that pushing battleship, also a new flood, and I also already have a new salvo on the way towards him. So I mean, this guy can't do anything. He's totally crippled. And he still is flooding as well. So you pretty much force these battleships to just burn through their damage cons and heals as soon as they come off cooldown. They probably pretty much need to pop their repair once again, because you already put another flood on them. And of course now this guy is pretty alone in this push that was pretty heavy push from the beginning. And of course now he has to deal with both me and also this other friendly destroyer that has arrived to help me out. And at this point I'm up to 3 kills and almost 90k damage. And I think I'm about to hit some more torps. Yep. There goes the next torp hit and the next flood on that guy. Let's see if he has damage up or on cooldown. It looks like we have a perma flood on this guy. And well, there he just ate another one, giving that kill to my friendly destroyer buddy on my team. But I already have a new salvo towards this other battleship. So you can pretty much just sit here and just spam torp salvo after torp salvo on these guys. And that is why I said that this position that I have played in this match is the absolute best position you can be in. And this is how effective you can be towards enemy ships. And consider that this is only the tier 8 German destroyer. Just think about the possibilities when I get the Z23. When you have even greater guns, even greater hydroacoustic, and also greater torps, I think. I'm not really sure, but I think they have a bit more range than these have. And this ship is also half stock, actually. I only upgraded the hull and the torpedoes on this ship in this match. I haven't upgraded the fire control system for the range, and I haven't upgraded the guns, which is a possibility to do in the Z23. So I'm up to 4 kills and 120k damage. So now it's just time to start engaging these cruisers with my guns. No, sorry, that was actually the 4th kill. I went a bit ahead of myself here. But so, I can highly recommend the German destroyer line because they're not the greatest at anything, pretty much. I mean, I would say Yu-Yang guns are far better than the German ones, even though the armor piercing on these guns are very good. I wouldn't like to knife fight a Yu-Yang in my Z, I think. The torps are not the greatest either. They have a great reload and half decent flood damage or flood chance, but not that high alpha damage as let's say Yu-Yang Deepwater torps or Yugomo torps, which you have seen quite often on this channel. But I think the German line is pretty much like most guys describe the Hindenburg, even though I love the Hindenburg and I think it's one of the most OP cruisers in the game. Most people consider the German cruiser line to be the jack of all trades, and I would probably say the same thing about the German destroyer lines. They're not the best at anything, but they pretty goddamn strong in all departments. Maybe not the concealment. They usually have a bit worse concealment, especially the Z22 at tier 10 has a concealment of 6.1. And there goes my 5th kill and my Kraken unleashed. But as I said, pretty goddamn good guns, pretty goddamn nice torp, especially the reload I really love on this destroyer line. Decent smoke, but the shortest in class. And of course that mega overpowered hydro, which means that you can probably sit in every cap, contest every destroyer, and you only have to be careful about radar cruisers, which are your #1 biggest counter, I would say. So this game is quickly coming to an end. We're only trying to hunt down the last enemy destroyer. And of course we have gotten, I think it's First Blood, High Caliber, Confederate, and of course Kraken Unleashed. And we're up to 150,000 damage done, which is a pretty respectable number in a tier 8 destroyer. And my team won! So, I would definitely recommend you guys grinding this ship line, but I'm guessing you have done so long while ago. I was probably the last one on the EU server to grind this line. So 2.2 thousand base experience, which is always nice, and as you can see I did quite a bit of damage to the enemy team, and of course many torp hits and many floods, getting me some nice good credits. So I want to thank you guys for checking out this video. Please leave a like and a comment below, and I see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Bye bye.